So, this is going to be my first official high quality video, if you will, that's not going to be done on my cell phone, all up on my face, on selfie mode and all that, ranting on about whatever. I'm making it a personal goal to put out at least one of these videos like once a week for now until I get into it more. And that's making videos that are more long and more detailed, and I have better explanations on what I say, because I realize that me going on Instagram or just posting on my Facebook timeline, my little 1, 2, 3 minute videos, maybe 5 minutes here and there, of me ranting on about certain things isn't really enough to get a point across, because I know that I rush a lot and I want people to understand in the least amount of time possible, because one, if I'm trying to grab people into my content and to listen to what I say, I know that most people up front don't have a good attention span for things that they're not already into. Now, for those people who I know that have been watching my stuff since me leaving high school and so on, and people I've met along the way doing different projects and going different places that check me out and support, I thank y'all for that. I know y'all can handle it, but just for now, what I'm going to do is make more long-term videos. And this next video, I'm just going to cut this out, of course, and fade into what I'm going to talk about. So thanks for listening. Spread that message to whoever you know that watches my stuff as well, and let them know what's happening, you know what I'm saying? First off, I'd like to thank you for clicking, tapping this video on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, you know, wherever you found it at, you know what I'm saying? You know, just thanks. And I'm going to get right into it, no delays, and that is, anger is more than an emotion. Anger is more than a moment. Anger is more than the crutch in your life that just seems to always get you in trouble. And I had to say that personally because I deal with it on a daily basis. Alright, I've been dealing with it since I was young, and it's been a roller coaster of a ride dealing with anger as an emotion, anger as a mindset, as a belief. Anger is a philosophy. Anger can be anything, and it doesn't have to be negative. That is the first thing I want to stress right now, and that is that forgive yourself when you're being angry, and let it be known that it is okay to be angry. Alright, anger is a gift. Rage Against the Machine. I don't know if you ever heard of Rage Against the Machine, the band, you know, new metal band from the 90s, right? They hot. They hot. I don't care. Their whole thing is anger, right? Anger powers them to make the music that rebels against the government, rebels against the system, speaks for the voiceless. You get it? Right? That whole movement is inspired by anger. They use anger as a tool. And as we know, everywhere in life, people use anger as a tool, and you have to learn how to do the same. So, before I get into my personal journey, I just want to continue on that by saying that forgive yourself when you're angry. I can say that 2020 has been the most frustrating year for me, just like it has for everybody. COVID-19, our favorite celebrities passing, right? Just things just ain't right this year, and it's very frustrating. People out of work, people out of homes, people can't pay for the things they need to pay for. It sucks, and it's very frustrating. But I can say, besides the COVID-19, I had things personally in my life that challenged me and brought out a lot of stress in me, which in turn brought out a lot of anger in me. And I'm happy that I'm aware enough, and that's awareness is something that I always want to talk about on any video moving forward, is being aware about why you say the things you say, do the things you do, believe the things you believe. I'm happy that I'm aware enough to be accountable for my anger and understand why I felt the way I felt in certain situations. So what I'm saying here is, you may be angry, and you have to realize that anger is a part of nature. And for me, I get more angry with myself and in turn make it worse because I don't want to be angry. This is why I say fake positivity is a thing. I don't know if you've ever heard anybody say that, but it most certainly is a thing. Fake positivity is terrible, right? Don't try to pretend like you never get upset, you never get jealous, you never get envious, you never want more than what you actually got. Don't act like you don't have greedy moments, because every human does. So if you meet people who try to say, no bad vibes, no negative energy, blah, 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 all that stuff, they're fake. They're fake. And I'm happy I never done that. I had my moments where I zenned out and got into my Buddhism and my meditation and my yoga years ago, but I was never on some ain't nothing wrong with the world type stuff. That's bad. That's bad. Stuff gets wrong with the world sometimes, and it's okay. So in this situation, I'm talking about anger. Now, a little bit more on it, and that's basically, I'm going to close it after that. But anger for me started, I would say, basically like second grade, right? That's very young. It's like, what, 6 years old? Can't even remember. But second grade, right? Always fighting, always snapping off at people. You say one wrong thing to me, end of story. For you and me, because I throw my body on the line, not even knowing what the cost may be, which is very dangerous. And a lot of angry people do this till this day, full-grown adults. Stop dashing in situations because you're mad, right? But I didn't know that back then because I was young. But a lot of fights, especially third grade. To me, third grade and fourth grade are like the worst years ever because I was in and out of school, suspension on suspension, detention on detention, reinstatement on reinstatement, my mom at the school all the time. This is a life that many kids live. White, black, Asian, Latino, it doesn't matter, you name it. But unfortunately, the minority cultures are the ones who really deal with this because they come from broken homes, disease, drugs, disadvantage, no mom, no dad, adoption, foster homes, you name it. You name it. Let's just keep it real. And this stuff powers them to be angry. And I didn't realize at that time why. But all that plays a part. So, up until 5th grade, fast forward, without too many details, I could tell all the stories in the world later. But just know that when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old, that was a tough time for me. Now, when I got to 5th grade, I had to go to therapy, of course, recommended by my anger management instructor. His name is Mr. Logan. Shout out to him if he would ever come across this by any day. But I still remember him. Those were good times. And I had to go because I made a drawing and the drawing was inappropriate and blah, 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 blah. And it was so stupid to me. But, you know, I didn't know how the system works. And till this day, when you see kids draw or say or do inappropriate things, it has to be reported. So, you know, long story short is I went to therapy. And I would like to address that briefly is therapy does work. Therapy does work. People have a hard time really believing that therapy works or not. It does. If you participate, therapy works, yo. But don't get me wrong, it's not the end all be all. Go talk to Dr. Joseph Jackson and and get all your answers for life. No. But you do have to participate. How you going? If you're on a team, you have to do all the steps to be successful on a team. You're a student, you got to do all the things to be a successful student. You go to therapy, you got to do all the things to have a successful therapy session. End of story. And I can say I benefited properly. My therapist, Mr. Joe, that's why I said Joseph Jackson, but his name is not Joseph Jackson. But he introduced me to conscious thought, which is, yo, they making you mad? Ask yourself, before you snap off, why they making you mad? Does it really matter? Is it really important? Does that situation really call for you to explode? Is that the only way you can express yourself? If so, why? Why do they bother you so much? Why do those statements that they made? Why does those your mama jokes, your clothes, your shoes, oh, you ain't got no haircut, these things, look where you live, all those things, why do those things bother you? And the reality is, all those things bother me because I do feel some type of way about them. And then it makes me angry because they know about them. See how that works? And I had to accept and realize those things before I started to be like, you know what? They like making me angry because they know what's going to make me angry. And unfortunately, it did make me angry. And it makes me angry every single time. And that's not okay. So jumping forward off of that is when you're angry, right? Up here is distorted. In your mind, in your brain, the section of your brain that produces these hormones and all that stuff, I ain't going to get all scientific because that's not what's necessary. Now, I'll do that another time. But these things are off balance. And it is very hard sometimes for a lot of people to really get it under control, no matter how much therapy they do, how much smoking, how much drinking, how much sex, how much TV, how much video games. It's always going to be hard for some people. But what I want to say last is just because you have anger issues doesn't make it okay to get away with certain things. Doesn't make it okay for you to do certain things. You don't need to be fighting all the time. You don't need to go out and shoot and kill people. You don't need to go out and break stuff and steal from people. You don't need to go out and ruin your relationship and in turn ruin your life because you're going to cut off your family with your attitude. You're going to cut off the boyfriend or the girlfriend you may want one day. You're going to lose a lot. And lose your marriage, just you name it. You can lose everything because a moment of anger, and you must learn how to get it under control, right? So just know that you're not alone, and I make this known when I make my little videos on Facebook and Instagram, all that. And I know I'm not the only one who deals with these issues. I have friends, I have family, I have co-workers. I've seen it growing up in the school, outside of the school, in the neighborhood. People get angry. But what we need to do as a people, as a society, in our respective spaces, is talk about what makes us angry. Talk about what goes on in all of our lives. That's the only way we're going to make a difference. I'm not trying to make an inspirational speech here. We need to change the world. And we are the people and blah, blah, blah. No. Just if we want to see things differently in our realms, when we learn certain things, we have to give it back. So I know when I took these anger management courses in my life and I learned certain things, yoga, meditation, you name it, all this stuff, I shared it. And I was so eager to share it. Some people ain't want to hear it. Had to learn that the hard way, and it made me angry as well. But you got to share. And I'm sharing with you, the listener, the viewer, the watcher, whoever you are and whatever you want to label yourself. I'm sharing with you that I get angry too. And it is okay to talk to someone about it. It is okay to vent to your loved ones. It's okay to have a moment to yourself. It's okay to isolate yourself. It's okay to talk to people too when you're angry. Because believe it or not, that's the number one way you're going to get over it. You have to be upfront, aware. You can't be in denial. You have to admit that sometimes you lose control. Sometimes you snap. And it is totally normal. You're not crazy, because let's be real, if you start studying some things in this life, you will realize that all humans are crazy. You just this far on the spectrum and you nuts, or you over here and you're a pretty calm, decent person who knows how to manage things. Unfortunately, we all not blessed to be over here or whatever, where everything's so peachy and ice creams and sunshine and rainbows. Some of us live in the volcano every day, and it's hard to deal with it. So I'm going to close it out on that. I ain't going to go no further. Thanks for your time. I need you to really think about what is it that makes you angry. Please comment. Please comment. I don't care for likes like that. I'm big on shares and views, and I really would like, what I would like is more comments when I make videos. So, do whatever you want. The views is good. That's all that matters. I don't care for likes, but mostly comment. Share your messages. Put your story out there. That's what I seek to do. And I know there's a lot of people out here like me, and they seek to do the same. Give these people a chance. Give yourself a chance to open up. We see it on movies, video games, TV shows, read books about it endlessly. People have problems for years, and they never choose to open up about it. And then they wonder why nothing goes right in their life. You have to get it off your chest. You want to be angry about something? Be angry that you can't address your issues properly. How about that? Peace on that one.